Hello and welcome to another Spider vid about the Spider Armor Mark IV, I believe. I don't know Roman numerals. It's IV, I believe that means 4. So, yeah. As always, these are completely unscripted and improvised. I didn't do any research. I didn't, write down the thoughts, I'm not reading. So I could totally get things wrong. But yes, that out of the way, this is the Spider Armor from the all-new, all-different run. Probably the longest-lasting Spider Armor of them all. Basically, Peter Parker created this after the events of Superior Spider-Man and Spider-Verse, when Otto Octavius, using his body, started a company called Parker Industries. And 8 months after Spider-Verse, the company kind of just blew up and became this global phenomenon. He was making all this cool new tech. He basically became the new Tony Stark. And, he made this cool new suit while he was at it. He's like, yo, I'm a rich guy now, with all this kind of scientific resources at my disposal. Why wear the classic, cloth red and blue? I can upgrade it to a cool new armor. So during the run, he created this thing called webware, which is basically his claim to fame. I can't talk. That's something you should all probably get used to. But yes, his claim to fame. And it's imagine when those iWatches or Apple Watches, whatever they're called, but it's super advanced. You can do anything with it basically. And that's basically what got Peter so rich and famous, just that invention. During his time as a rich guy selling webware watches, he started working for S.H.I.E.L.D. and partnering up with Mockingbird, who eventually got her own solo series for a little bit, and took on a couple of different villains during the run, kind of all a little different, which you'd expect. That'd be weird if a superhero didn't take on any villains during his series. I mean, it's probably been done. There's probably a superhero series out there that has never had any crime fighting in it. I just don't know. So, some villains he fought. Mr. Negative is one of them. He showed up, and interestingly enough, his two personalities decided to start working together. So, Martin Lee and Mr. Negative working together, and they started mind controlling Cloak and Dagger. You might know from the recent Hulu show. And, oh, hey, that person wants to talk to me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for...
The friendly neighborhood Spider-Man!
Oh, that chick is so dead with my electric hands on. I just electrocuted her. But, yeah, Mr. Negative, he controls Cloak and Dagger. Spidey has to fight them, freeze them, though, and they get reverted to their regular selves, as you'd expect. He also took on Zodiac, which, interesting villains. Remind me of Iron Man, which just in series in general reminds me of Iron Man. So he's running his own company called Parker Industries. He's a rich dude. He has all this science and tech at his disposal. He's kind of wearing an armor. He took on Zodiac. In general, it felt like during the series, it began to show that Dan Slott didn't want to write Spider-Man anymore. He wanted to write Iron Man, which he is writing Iron Man now. So Marvel gave him what he wanted. But yeah, and the reason Zodiac reminds me of Iron Man, in case you're wondering, is because he had this one anime series, which is really good, actually. If you're an Iron Man fan, you should totally check it out. But, yeah, it was from 2011, just called Iron Man, and he fights Zodiac throughout it, and I really enjoy the anime series, so just Zodiac in general just makes me think of that anime.
Officers, be advised. A mugging was just
But, anyway, yeah, so it's Peter mostly fights Zodiac throughout the series, as they do a bunch of different things. So he was working with S.H.I.E.L.D., creates a bunch of different cool tech, goes to a bunch of different places, teams up with different characters. Silver Sable came back from the dead. As I mentioned, she died during the Ends of the Earth, which that previous Spider Armor I showed off is from. And, let's see what else happened. Oh, he fought Dr. Octopus again. who is now calling himself the Superior Octopus. He was in this like clone body, which it was a clone body of Peter Parker, but he had a little bit of his own genetics mixed in. So it sounds creepy, which, okay, it is creepy. It doesn't just sound creepy, it is creepy. But basically, his body was the combined DNA of Otto Octavius and Peter Parker. So yeah, kind of creepy, man. But yeah, that happened during Clone Conspiracy, which that's another thing that happened during the All New All Different run while Peter was wearing this armor. Which basically Clone Conspiracy, the Jackal, or who seems to be the Jackal, is bringing back all of Peter's loved ones and enemies from the dead, including Otto Octavius. And, you know, at the end, Peter stops it and all the clones are degenerating. And it's revealed that the Jackal is actually Ben Reilly, the original Scarlet Spider and clone of Peter Parker. And, you know, so he's gonna die, and Otto Octavius, he's gonna die. And there's this, like, one super clone body. One could say it's the superior clone that, you know, once it's, like, given DNA, will be immune to the degenerative process. So both Ben Reilly and Otto Octavius want it. They get into a fight. It doesn't show at first who wins. You know, Peter gets there and he just finds, like, the Jackal helmet and Otto's like, metal arms just on the ground in a pile of dust. And they're just like, oh, they're both dead. That's so sad. Oh, wow. Like, yeah, no, Peter didn't really. He wasn't that sad about it. Otto's one of his greatest enemies. And Ben was getting there, considering he's, like, kind of a villain at that point. But, you know, it was revealed later that Otto was the one who took the clone body, and somehow Ben survived? I don't remember how they explained it. I'm sure they did. Maybe they didn't. But, I don't know. They probably did. But, yeah, Otto, he got the new body instead he mixed the genetics of himself and Peter Parker, and he came back during Secret Empire during the Amazing Spider-Man tie into that to try taking back Parker Industries, and reveals that he's been basically manipulating the company from the very start, that he was the one who actually gave Peter the idea for webware, kind of ripping off these devices, like the spider people used during Spider-Verse to travel dimensions. Let's see, where is that crime report coming from? I don't see it, huh?
I'll set my earpiece to focus on muffled
voices. I'm in it. But yeah, so, and you know, he reveals he basically was manipulating everything the entire time, because he was inside the body of the Living Brain, which is this like robot android that Otto reprogrammed to serve him during Superior Spider-Man.
Not much to go on.
After said like he left the Living Brain, he made his clone body, and he revealed that like he's been manipulating everything. And Peter and Otto get into a fight. Otto basically controls all of Peter's technology, including the Spider-Mobile, which that's a thing. So yeah, you could also compare the series to Batman if you want. You know, rich superhero. You know, he has a Spider-Mobile. You know, so there's similarities to him too. So compare it to whichever rich superhero you want, basically. You know, there's Iron Man stuff. There's, you know, Batman-like stuff. You know, it wasn't the most original series. It was good. I mean, I think it was a pretty decent series. Just, you know, it's not Spider-Man, really. You know, Spider-Man shouldn't be this rich dude. The main appeal of Spider-Man is he's just your average, ordinary guy. You know, when you're a rich billionaire superhero with unlimited technology, you know, you're not a relatable dude. You're not your average guy. So, yeah, anyway, as I was saying, Otto controls all of Peter's technology, turns the Spider-Mobile against him and everything, and he even like recreates this device that like Norman Osborn once used against him to try deactivating Peter's armor. But he goes one step further and actually shreds it, so the entire armor, it's gone. That's how it goes out. Otto killed this armor. So if you like this armor and you wish it was around, still blame Otto Octavius. He's the one responsible for it not being around anymore. You know, be like, darn you, Octavius, for destroying this really cool armor. Which I like this armor. I think it's a good redesign of Spider-Man. It has like all those classic elements, which you should keep your redesigning Spider-Man. But like, it's an interesting step forward. I like it in having a cool, more technological suit. You know, I feel like it's time for him to move on. Just the, you know, classic. Like, it's cool, don't get me wrong. But, you know, he's at it for so long. Characters should get upgrades. You know, shouldn't just be the same old thing forever. But, yeah, so Otto destroyed it. Peter did eventually defeat Otto, though. They both ended up kind of having to leave, basically. You know, Otto basically ran away, and Peter was going to chase after him, but then, like, the Avengers were just like, yo, we need help taking down this whole Secret Empire thing. You finally have a chance to move against, you know, evil Steve Rogers. So Peter, you know, at least I think that's happened. Maybe they just called him for help taking down the Dome over New York. I don't remember. Said, if you do remember, let me know. Let's see. Other than that, that was the end of the Spider Armor. That was pretty much the end of the series. I think a few other things happened. I mean, yeah, like they did this Red Goblin story arc where the Green Goblin, Norman Osborn, fused with Carnage, and he turned his grandson into like a Carnage Jr. And, you know, he attacked, and Peter bonded with the Venom symbiote again to take on Norman. It was an interesting story. Doc Ock shows up again. He actually protects Aunt May from Kid Carnage. I think it's called Hellchild or Darkchild. Now, Darkchild is magic from the X-Men. So what was, I don't know what Normie Osborn, you know, Norman's grandson. His name's Normie, which sounds weird when I say it out loud. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Otto nearly dies protecting May, which, you know, Peter is like, dang, dude, why would you do that? And Otto's just like, Aunt May is cool. She doesn't deserve this. She's a real good woman. And Peter's like, dude, you're a terrible person, but doing this kind of like redeemed you in my eyes. So get the hell out of here before I beat you up. And Otto was like, sure thing. And you know, that was basically where the series ended. But, you know, Spider Armor was long gone by then. So, said Otto destroyed it prior.
Carl crushed that pedestrian if I don't do something.
Kind of unfortunate. Said, I like it. I think it was a good step forward for the character. I'm glad he's not running Parker Industries anymore. But I feel like it would have been cool if they at least let him keep the suit. At least some kind of more technologically advanced suit than his classic red and blue. For me, like, a costume of a character is a symbol for their progress, you know, as, you know, characters. It shows their character development a lot of times. So just going back kind of, I feel like it undermines, you know, like it kind of undermines, you know, everything Peter went through by just giving him his old red and blue. It's just a symbol that things never change in comics. And that's the one thing I hate about Marvel and DC, that things never change.
I should let Fire and Rescue.
Like, that's kind of unfortunate. Like, yeah, I still read them. Like, it's more of a nitpick thing. You know, just like, you know, when I was talking about the Ghost Spider, it's a nitpick thing. It's not something I 100% am just like, I'm gonna stop reading your books. Because Marvel and DC doesn't care anyway if I stop reading their books. They make enough money as it is. But, you know, like, I don't know, it's a nitpick. They should let characters move forward, let them keep new costumes, let their character development stay, don't just revert everything back to the way it was.
Robbery in progress.
But that's kind of off topic for this video.
Please copy.
You know, this video was talking about the Spider Armor, and we already pretty much said everything there is about it. You know, in summary, he ran his own company, he worked with S.H.I.E.L.D., he fought Zodiac a lot, he fought Mr. Negative one time, probably some other villains. I'm not going through every single story arc. Just, you know, some of the most notable ones. I said, like, Mr. Negative, the Secret Empire tie-in, the Red Goblin. Like, those are really the most memorable arcs from the series to me. So, but yep, that's the Spider Armor Mark IV. It was a cool suit while it was well-lasted. I think it's cool that they put it in the game. I'm glad they did. You know, since it was Peter's most recent new suit, at least. Because at the time of right now, he's wearing his classic red and blue again, sort of. In the current series, Peter Parker and Spider-Man got split to two different dudes. It's confusing. Maybe once the story is over, I can do a video on it if you guys would like that. But for now, that's the end of the video. See you guys next time. Das Vidania.